We are now joined by Ron Alini from Digital Turbine. How are you doing today, Ron?
Very good, James. Happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Very welcome. Lucky to be here at all. I think the last 2 years made us appreciate these kind of things a little bit better. So, for folks who maybe haven't heard about Digital Turbine, give them the skinny. What is it the company does?
Yeah, sure. So Digital Turbine is a leading mobile growth platform offering a one-stop solution for advertisers and app developers. We offer both user acquisition solutions and ad monetization. We serve different types of audiences such as app developers, brand and performance advertisers, and the leading words telcos and mobile manufacturers. So this is in a nutshell about Digital Turbine. If we dive in, I would say that on the monetization suite, we offer our ad monetization mediation, which is DT Verbit, the only independent mediation in the market. Then we have the DT Exchange, which is one of the leading exchanges in the market, having more than 80,000 direct applications integrated, which is a massive footprint. And then we have DT Offerwall, which is a unique and non-intrusive ad format. Basically gives the users the opportunity to win virtual currency within the game by completing different tasks. On the UA front, we offer our advertisers the opportunity to reach untapped audiences through our own device experience and also to our own DSP.
Gotcha. I'll circle back to the different types of ad formats, because I've been talking to a lot of ad platforms today, and they're all talking about different ways to try and generate UA and make sure that people are clicking on more than just a banner ad or a pop-up or something like that. Yeah. So you're talking about there almost like gameplay built into the ads themselves. Is that right? Explain a little bit more.
Yeah, definitely. So we're seeing like rewarded video format is growing massively in the last few years because advertisers and app developers are looking for like non-intrusive ways that won't hurt the user experience within the game. So we're looking for less like interstitials and banners. We're heading through rewarded videos and also through Offerwall, for example, which is a great way to encourage your user to spend more time on your game, and it also helps retaining those users, because just think about the users that they don't have any currency left and they are not looking to go for any in-app purchases. So basically we're giving them a chance to be retained by completing different tasks in the game and have the opportunity to win virtual currency. So basically it's a win-win situation for everyone, like for the app developers, for the advertisers, and of course for the user itself.
And how do you maintain the message when you're doing that? How do you push the message for whatever you're advertising, while also turning it into a game that feels kind of, I guess, natural and organic within the shell of the game that they're playing?
Yeah, so we're trying to do it as native as possible. So if we're talking about rewarded videos, so usually we place them on the shop, so where you have the opportunity to buy some stuff. So you also have like one logo that tells you, listen, watch this video and gain gems or coins or whatever. When we're speaking about Offerwall, for example, so we have all the tools to keep it as native as possible. We have the colors, we have the logo, we have everything that the developer wants, basically. So it really keeps the user in the game environment, and it's not like he's clicking on something and he's being redirected to like an outside page. So it feels very natural for the users when they're using this kind of ad formats.
Do you feel that's one of the big shifts over the last few years? Because audience behavior does change quite quickly, and the market as a whole, mobile especially, changes at a crazy speed. So is that one of the big shifts you've seen, or are there other new opportunities and new wrinkles that have emerged?
Yeah, so first of all, yeah, this is like a big shift. We're heading through like more and more putting the user in the center and try not to interrupt the users when they're playing a game or using an app. And another big change that we're seeing recently is on the mediation space. What is happening these days is that there are a lot of consolidations in the market. So we're seeing like a lot of big gaming studios buying smaller studios in order to utilize data and other stuff. And we're also seeing large ad tech companies buying smaller ad tech companies. We're seeing ad tech companies buying gaming studios and also attribution companies. And this basically creates, let's say, a conflict of interest for app developer, because their data is no longer safe. It's actually being at risk because other companies can leverage their data, and these companies have like competing businesses. So it creates like a huge conflict. And I believe that these days more than ever, there is a true need for an unbiased growth platform, that its sole mission is to help advertisers grow their business without any trade-offs. So this is what we're trying to do here.
Do you think users have become a lot more savvy about the way that their data is used? Like, I think before maybe they didn't realize just how much information they were giving over and how valuable potentially that information is, because the market now is all about information and users. And with GDPR coming in and all of the changes that were made, how delicate do you have to be when dealing with other people's data?
So I would say that the move to more and more privacy regulation is probably the biggest change the mobile advertising industry is seeing in recent years. GDPR, CCPA, COPPA. On the other side, we have iOS 14, we have Google Sandbox, you name it. I mean, like, there are tons of regulations, and we understand and we welcome this trend of users wanting more privacy, and we're complying with it. And we are doing everything we could to give our partners the right tools to deal with this kind of new environment that you're having these days. And it's very welcomed from the user perspective, also from the company perspective. And it's a bit more challenging in terms of targeting abilities. But yeah, we're making sure that we're complying, and we're making sure that we are not putting the user at risk.
Of course. You mentioned challenging. Basically the past 2 years, 3 years have been kind of one weird crisis after another, whether it's shifting from the pandemic over, now the economy's going a bit weird in places all over the world. Has that presented other unique challenges? Do you find that users' behavior is changing when maybe the economy isn't doing quite so well, and that presents its own problems?
Yeah, so I'm going a bit back to the early COVID days. So while many industries suffer during the pandemic, I would say that the mobile ecosystem boomed, really. Like, people were spending like more time than ever using the mobile devices, and the revenues grew massively. And then speaking about this situation that is happening right now, the global recession. So yeah, I mean, there is no escaping it, right? Like everybody is being affected by this situation, and advertisers specifically are being way more cautious about every dollar they spend. So basically, there is a need for efficient targeting channels that will be able to give the advertisers both positive ROI and scale. So this is the game these days. I also remember like the panic we had like in the industry when Apple like early last year announced the big privacy change. I mean, the iOS 14, that users basically can choose to be opted out from being tracked. So I would say that Digital Turbine was the first player in the market to lead the discussion, also to leverage contextual targeting. Yeah, and I mean, we were all like concerned about what is going to happen with iOS 14 and the decline in revenues. And I have to tell you that we weren't seeing any like declines in revenue, but the opposite. We managed to grow our business substantially thanks to these developments like contextual targeting. Yeah.
Well, you can see we're at a physical event finally after a two and a half year break. We haven't been back to Helsinki since 2019. And everyone's bustling around us, including catering apparently over the side there. What do you feel is the difference of being at physical events versus kind of the 2 years of Zoom conferencing that we did?
That's a great question. I mean, in my opinion, there is nothing compared to face-to-face interaction. I mean, like, it's great to be here. It's a lovely place, a beautiful city of Helsinki. And I mean, I love it. And I've been doing like, I don't know, hundreds of Zoom calls in the last 2 years. And to get a chance to see the person that you're speaking with and having coffee, having a beer I mean, it's priceless, and I'm lucky to be here.